Alright, y'all, in today's video, we're going to be going as far as we can in the new fire tower in anime Vanguards. If you guys enjoy this video, like and subscribe. Let's get right into the video. Alright, y'all, we're here and we got the team on. I'm going to go over it really quick. So, of course, we have Madara. Madara is actually going to go really well with the new skill tree. Most people can't even really do the skill tree yet because I've done like 200 floors and I can only get one passive. I'll explain which one's the best one when I get into the game. We have Madara, of course, Escanor, Benimar for slow and stuff like that. Zora because he takes debuffs from other like characters and puts them on himself for those type of stages. Of course, buff unit right here. He's pretty good. And then Nami. Warriors are this one on Escanor. I think this is the best one I could give him because that's contagious and they'll be bleeding because of Zoro. So I think this is the best one for Escanor I have because Benimar is one, is Divinity, and has to go to him, of course. Madara with his own one, which, like I said, Madara's Memoria. You probably honestly want Madara's Memoria on most of these characters, but I only have one right now. I'll explain why you want it, and I don't know if it works the way I expect it to, but I'm pretty sure it will. Meaning this Memoria is very broken for elemental towers. This one's just a lower cost on, you know, the Smith, and then this one, I think Zoro follows up, if I remember correctly. I think he does follow up from something. Also, it's just Jack of all good stat buff in the first place. Familiars are this one on Escanor, pretty good burb. This one on Benimar, another good burb. My best burb on Madara, a good burb on Zoro, and Nami with a money familiar. I don't have anything on the last unit because I don't have a C3 chopper to lower his cost. But anyways, we're gonna get right into it. I think I'm at like stage 20 or something in the fire tower. But first, we're gonna hop into the Omni tower just so I can show off the skill tree and explain what the best ones I think are, because it's actually very, very important for the game mode now. So I'll cut to that. Alright, y'all, we're here in the tower and we're gonna go over the skill tree really quick. Basically, you just click down here in the bottom right, there's a new skill tree. I'm gonna reset it really quick just to show it off. So we go here on damage. You can go to 20 on each one. You get these perks. Here's all of them. I'm not gonna go over them. You can read them if you want. Best one I'd say is this. Restart again. Let's go check out range. What range does is these ones. These are pretty mid. I think sniper's the best. This one sounds good to me. And teamwork. These are probably the best too. These other ones are really mid. I'm not gonna lie. And the last one we got right here, which is cost. We go in here. There's all this stuff. I think freebie's probably the worst one. You want all these other ones though. These are all really good because of a certain one that works really well with damage. And you can go to 20 in each one. They have this keystone at the end. I don't know what it does. I don't know if this is like a special because they have major perks and then they have keystone. So I think this is something separate probably. Can't get there though since I only have 10 skill points after all this. I'm only level 13. Might have to nerf this a little bit. It's kind of hard to rank up, but yeah, I'd say you go damage first, and if you're gonna pick any one, pick this one first. This is the one that's really broken, the Limitless. You can upgrade infinitely if they're non-farm, and each upgrade costs 10% more. This is why Madara's Memoria would be really good. Also, this is why you want to max out cost, because every level is 1%, every level is 3%, and every level is 1% for range. But you'd want to go with this one, because this is really, really good, but I'd say you first go with this one right here, Loner. This is probably the best one you want to pick. So it's an interesting new feature, but we're gonna get right into the actual gameplay now. Just wanted to show that. Also, y'all, before we actually get into the tower, I wanted to go over something else really quick. There's a new feature that if you get stuck on a floor, you can reroll a map once per day by clicking this button. I'm pretty sure it just brings you to a whole different map, whole different boss. So if you're stuck on like a Genyu floor, you can literally just come in here once a day and just hit this button on the floor you want to reroll so you can keep going farther. But yeah, I'm on floor 22 in the fire tower, so we're going to start from there. I mean, this is going to be very easy with Madara anyway, so we're going to get right into it. You guys also know how this works. We're going to start from the floor we're on right now and obviously skip to wave 20, but how I'm basically going to use this team is Madara maxes out immediately, obviously. He's there for slumber, stunning, and all that. Escanor's just DPS with burn, of course. Benimar is there for slow and nullify and stuff. And Scorched, he does all that stuff. And Zoro's there to take debuffs for other people. Smith's just there to be a buff, and of course Nami for farm. So I'll cut to wave 20. Alright, y'all, we're back on wave 20 right now, floor 22. And something I wanted to mention is the buff you get from that first one that I picked, which is Loner, and going down the damage path. I recommend you guys go down the damage path first, then cost, and then put your last points into the range one. It's not that good. I'd say you just get like sniper and one of the other ones, but every other path worth doing because look how much damage Madara is doing. 16 million, and also above his head's only 1x, even though it's buffing him by 300%. A better example is Zoro. See, he only gets 20%, which is from Smith. But he's still doing 3 times damage. So basically, it goes to the actual unit, not the overhead, which is really, really good. Makes it even more broken than I thought it would be. So yeah, if you're gonna max out anything, go for damage first. But anyways, we're gonna move on to the next floor. Alright, y'all, we're back on floor 23, wave 20, of course. Boss is out. I mean, it's gonna be super simple. I feel like it's gonna be simple for a lot of these. Also, Escanor is really good too because he buffs himself. And since he's buffing, you know, his really high base damage of 300% plus, it just goes insane. Look at his damage. He's probably doing like 2% of that. Like, how much even is that? Pretty sure it's like 200k, something like that. 250k around there. And anyways, moving on to the next floor. Alright, y'all, we're back on floor 24, wave 20. Boss is about to come out. This is going to be super easy for a while because I think they did buff these. I swear these enemies didn't have like 8 million before. Maybe I'm wrong. But I feel like 500 million, yeah, I feel like that's a little bit much. But even if they did, I mean, you do 3 times damage, so it makes sense why they buffed it. The only issue with this boss is it can't be slowed immediately. Yeah, as soon as the shields go away, they start getting melted. Anyways, easy floor. We're going to move on to the next one. Alright, y'all, we're back on floor 25. Again, it's going to be a simple one. I like how they're going with like elemental towers and Odyssey just making like ways for units to be insanely broken without making them insanely broken. But I think they definitely should tone down the power creep a little bit and just make it so you can just get insanely overpowered, like in these modes specifically. Because I can see when you max out the skill tree in this mode, you're going to be like beyond broken. And of course the game mode is difficult though, but I think they also buffed it too. Because I think floor 25 was not having like a 1.5 billion boss. I think this guy is 1.5 billion, maybe I'm wrong. Pop the nukes, it might only be 1 billion actually. Yeah, it's 1 billion, but still. I don't think there was a 1 billion boss here before. That seems a little bit too much. That'd normally be like a floor 40, 50. The amount of buffs you can get when you do max it out are gonna way scale past the buffs they did, if they did do a buff. Also, I've been seeing that Gear 5 Luffy's gonna be the next Vanguard. Supposedly. Maybe he'll be a new rarity or something. Oh, nice Phoenix Shards. Those are good. I know they're actually easier to get now because of Odyssey being buffed. Easy floor. We're gonna move right on to the next one. Archo, we're back on floor 26 of the tower. Wave 20, of course. Yeah, these bosses just get melted by this team right now. Fire team got a big upscale because of Madara being free to max, and just being a good unit in general. We haven't got a good fire unit in a long time. Nature team too, though, because he is nature as well. There's better teams to use on the nature tower, though. But anyways, that was an easy floor, and we're going to move on to the next one. Alright, y'all, we're back on floor 27, wave 20. It's actually odd, because I realized if you look at this, for some reason, the memorials are, like, bugged. They're, like, squished. I don't know why. Also, I could see how cost efficiency would be worth it, because on this map, I can't max out everyone with one farm, even while collecting the chests. Cost efficiency will be really good. Plus, obviously, like I said, the one that allows you to infinitely upgrade is insanely good. Plus that, with Madara's Memoria, it'd be even crazier because for every upgrade you get 5% damage. So I think they obviously made that Memoria with this in mind. But yeah, it's very hard to max out. I'm pretty sure you have to do 1,400 floors to max it out. But another easy clear. Let's move on to the next one. Alright, y'all, we're back on floor 28. Should be pretty simple here, as it's not going to get difficult till I run into a Ginyu floor. I could probably even beat a Ginyu floor, though, because of how broken this first modifier is. 300% more damage. You can literally just nuke the boss here. And boss is already done. 600 million is nothing. Also, I did swap out Rupture onto Zoro. Anyways, easy clear. We're gonna move on to the next one. Alright, y'all, we're back on floor 29 of the tower. Should be another easy floor. It's just a bleach floor. You get more than enough money on these types of floors. That's why it'd be insane if you had like all the money buffs too. Pop Madara's nuke and Escanor's one. Boss only has 600 million, so that's another easy boss. Yeah, I feel like I might need to lower like a little bit the amount of floors you need to do, because 1,400 is crazy. Not even know how long that would take, especially since these take like 7 minutes. Might need to speed them up or something, I don't know. But anyways, another easy floor. Let's move on to the next one. Alright, y'all, we're back on floor 30 right now. Easy floor as always. Boss is about to come out. Alright, it's a Lancer boss. 700 million, not bad. Pop both the nukes. He stuns, but it's not an issue because he's only going to stun Zoro, which is really good for this, actually. That's why I brought him, because then pretty sure he takes the like stuns and debuffs for everyone. Anyways, easy clear. 50 reels, not bad. We're going to move right on to the next one. Alright, y'all, we're back on floor 31 of the tower. Should be another easy floor. It's the Dragon Ball stage. And this is exactly why I brought Zoro. See this? He's getting debuffed instead of all the other units. Pop up the nukes. I think that's 2 billion, actually. He might be 1.4, actually. Yeah, no, he's 1.4 billion. That's not bad. The brooms do like 100 million a time, bro. And yeah, he is applying Scorched, which is very good for this team because everyone here burns except for Zoro. But like I said, I brought Zoro for the debuff and stun block because it's really good. But anyways, that was an easy clear. Moving on to the next one. Alright, y'all, we're back on floor 32 of the tower. It's an AOT floor. Boss is about to come out. I think I'm about to be able to get a new upgrade soon for the elemental tower thing. Okay, nice. It spawned in range. I think it did. Yeah, it's right there. It's gonna pop the nuke because these both hit everything in range. Yeah, it's already down 100 million. 300 million, not 100 million. Yeah, that nuke pops and does so much damage. I'm pretty sure it can crit too. I'm gonna have 30% crit chance on him. Anyways, another easy clear. Let's move on to the next one. Alright, y'all, we're back on floor 33 of the tower. It's a solo leveling stage. Somehow I was able to max out all my characters. I mean, Madara just being free is pretty nice, or actually just 12k. Just pop the nukes again and melt this boss because 700 million is nothing. Very, very simple. Zoro's literally just here to take the stun away from everyone else. But anyways, another easy floor. Let's move on to the next one. Alright, y'all, we're on floor 34 of the tower. And I think I mentioned it earlier, but I'm pretty sure next update's gonna be another One Piece update, and they're gonna add Gear 5 Luffy from like stuff in the lobby. That, or he'll be like a different rarity. Like he's gonna be a Vanguard probably. I mean, he's Secret right now. Gear 4 is Secret, so I don't know. I've never seen them evo a Secret into a Vanguard, so he's just a Mythic, so I don't know. Also, one of the codes was also kind of like what they did with Madara when they teased it with a code. I mean, it's pretty obvious. Also, I heard that apparently they said update 13 is gonna be one of the largest updates apart from Anniversary, so if that's true, then I mean, next update might be peak, bro. I just hope it's unique. But anyways, another easy clear. And we're gonna move on to the next one. Alright, y'all, we're back on floor 35 of the tower. I'm guessing this is gonna be the best way of grinding reels from now on. Although the event is still actually really good. I'm pretty sure you get like, I don't know how much exactly it is, but I know it's a really good amount. I think it's a little bit less than the max you could be getting as the winter event, but I could only do a normal AFK on it. I was using autoplay, so I didn't have any advanced AFK or anything like that. This is probably the best way of farming reels outside of Odyssey, I'm guessing, because this is infinite. This goes infinitely. can just keep going as far as you can. Skill tree seems pretty crazy, but I'm pretty sure Odyssey is the best way right now. Haven't tried Odyssey yet, though. Anyways, easy clear. Oh, wait, 500 stat chips. Oops. I forgot. Yeah, that's an accident. I had like 700, I think, so I lost like 200 there. I need to go spend these before I go any further. But anyways, that was an easy clear. I'm going to move right on to the next one. Alright, y'all, we're back on floor 36 of the tower, and I got the one that allows you to uncap your upgrades on units, so this is kind of odd, but Zoro's at upgrade 31 out of infinite, and he's upgrade 16 out of infinite. He's still pretty cheap, doing 33 million every 5 seconds. That's kind of insane. I can give him another upgrade. Madara's does actually work. His Memoria C gains 5% every time he upgrades, so I was thinking, how is this going to work with like the Naruto team? What if you get Pain to like upgrade 100 and he just starts summoning in upgrade 100 like units? And what if like Ninjutsu works to upgrade too? I think you probably have to spend money on the upgrades, but I wonder what if you spend money on Pain after you max him out? Will it start summoning like upgrade 30 Naruto units? Probably not, right? I doubt it, but I don't know. Be interesting to test that. But anyways, another easy floor. I'm going to move on to the next one. Alright, y'all, we're back on floor 37 of the tower. The boss is already out and it's already getting melted. Not going to be difficult to take care of this at all. Literally pop this and he's going to get melted. This too, 22 million on Escanor because I have him at like upgrade 23. This is going to be insane when the skill tree's maxed out. It's just so difficult to max out because it takes like so many floors. Like the next point I get is literally in 50 floors. I feel like they need to nerf that a little bit. Like 1400 floors to max it out is kind of crazy. I know it's overpowered, but still. Anyways, easy clear. Let's move right on to the next one. Alright, y'all, we're back on floor 38 of the tower, and this infinite upgrading thing is kind of getting out of hand. Let me see how much, like, what upgrade can I get him to? He's at 25 right now. Okay, he's doing 44 million. Yo, Zoro's doing 44 million. He's at upgrade 35. This is gonna be insane when I max out the skill tree. I mean, if I even can. It's 1400 floors. That's gonna take a long time. But like, I wonder who this would be really good with. Obviously, if I had Madara's Memoria on Zoro, he'd be going even more crazy right now because he'd have like a 300% damage buff because he'd be getting 5% every time for each upgrade. So like, no, he'd have like a 200% almost, like 170%, something like that, which would be pretty insane. But like, I wonder who this would be really good with. Maybe like Ragna could be good with. He could get his SPA down really low and then upgrade him a bunch. I could see him being good. But yeah, it's pretty insane. Anyways, another easy clear. Let's move on to the next one. Alright, y'all, we're back on floor 39 of the tower. We're about to take out the boss. Very simple one. I actually lost on accident, but Escanor saved me. I forgot he does that. It's like a hidden passive he has. Luckily, Escanor revived me. Alright, well, easy clear. Let's move on to the next one. Alright, y'all, we're back on floor 40 of the tower. I've been seeing how broken Odyssey can get, and this mode can low-key also get pretty broken. I feel like Odyssey looks better, like, for overall getting rerolls and just, like, stuff in general. Seems like Phoenix Shards are finally actually obtainable, so now that Burbs and Phoenix Shards are both obtainable, if anyone was, like, holding off on trying to get a good Burb, it's definitely easy now. You could just set up a very, very simple AFK for the Sid raid with literally autoplay, I'm pretty sure. I mean, Madara would probably just melt that raid. Odyssey's insane for getting like rerolls and Phoenix Shards and Memoria Shards. It seems pretty crazy. I don't think it's infinite, but I mean, I've heard you can get like a lot of rerolls out of it. So it seems very, very good. But yeah, I really want to max this out, but like doing 1400 floors is kind of unrealistic. They need to make this faster. See, it's taking 8 minutes, bro. It's taking 8 minutes and they made Odyssey faster. So why don't they make this take like 4 minutes? I feel like 8 minutes is crazy, dude. Like even 4 minutes would be insane to do 1400 floors. But yeah, 50 reels, not bad. Anyways, another easy clear. Let's move on to the next one. Alright, y'all, we're back on floor 41 of the tower. Yeah, I don't know, bro. I just really like the idea of like allowing stuff to be really broken in like elemental towers and Odyssey and maybe future game modes, but not like all over the game. Like you can't just bring a Zoro that does 22 million damage anywhere. It's just interesting because especially since these modes are like worth grinding and difficult, like at least this elemental towers is difficult at least. But yeah, when you max out, I can only imagine how broken you'll be. But yeah, another easy clear. Let's move on to the next one. Alright, y'all, we're back on floor 42 of the tower. Should be a pretty easy clear here. Madara's at his 20th upgrade, which is pretty funny. Doing 31 million damage. Now he's at his 21st. Very interesting mechanic to be able to just actually infinitely upgrading a character. Definitely going to pair well, obviously, with the cost efficiency stuff, but can't get there yet because it's very, very time consuming to get that many floors done. You need to do 1400, as I've said. But anyways, let's move on to the next one. Alright, y'all, we're back on floor 43 of the tower. Should be pretty simple here. It's another solo leveling stage. Yeah, I just really think they need to speed up how fast this game mode takes because see, it's taking like 7-8 minutes every time. If they made it take like 3 to 4 minutes, it'd be a lot better paced. And for something they want you, like they literally want you to play 1400 stages. Also, I just realized, why is the god statue spawnable in here now? They changed it a little bit. You can get the god statue in elemental towers now. It seems like they did realize that you cannot have his statues though. They don't spawn in, which is good. So he's a very easy boss because they literally don't even have his statues, which is the only thing that makes him difficult. Other than that, he's just slow and he stuns a little bit. Honestly, easier than some of the other bosses if his statues don't spawn. Yeah, they definitely need to make this game mode faster though. It's the biggest issue. If it was 3 to 4 minutes, it would still take forever, but I'm pretty sure it would take like 200 hours of straight playing to get 1400 floors done. That is crazy, dude. But anyways, another easy clear. Let's move on to the next one. Alright, y'all, we're back on floor 44 of the tower. Should be another pretty easy clear here. We got Zoro at upgrade 27, doing 5 million DPS. Pop both the nukes, or all 3 technically, because Benimara has 1 too. Zoro's just really good. He's gonna do a bunch too whenever I pop that. Alright, y'all, well, that was another easy floor. Let's move on to the next one. Alright, y'all, we're on floor 45 of the tower. It's an AOT floor. Should be pretty simple here. Dude, I really want to max this out. I just know it'll take way too long, though. They need to make this game mode faster, because that's the only thing holding it back, the fact that it takes way too long to grind. It just seems like Odyssey's more worth grinding if you want rerolls. This is the best way of getting stat chips, but Odyssey's better for literally everything else. And it's just cool to see like how broken your units can get, because in Odyssey, you can only use certain characters, I'm pretty sure, for like, you know, making them broken. You gotta select your specific character you want to use, and this you can bring anyone. I definitely do want to max it out, but that might not be, you know, something that can happen very fast. It will probably take a long time, but we got 50 elemental shards here. Pretty useless. I mean, these things need to be reworked, but another easy clear. Let's move on to the next one. Alright, y'all, we're back on floor 46 of the tower. Should be another easy clear. It's gonna wait for them to get away from the enemies and then pop the nukes. Right now, it's probably fine. And Zoro's also doing 30 million damage, which is pretty crazy. Only upgrading him because he's the cheapest one to upgrade. Starts at like 3k. Meanwhile, Escanor, if you were to upgrade him past, would be like 8k. He's 3k, so it's not that bad. Madara is like 13k, so he only has 3k for the first upgrade, so it's not that bad. Taking care of the boss easily here, though. Alright, that was another easy floor. Let's move on to the next one. Alright, y'all, we're back on floor 47 of the tower. Should be pretty easy to clear this. Boss is already out. Just pop all the nukes. Zoro's also doing 7 million DPS, plus bleed, and I think he does double at some points. I think they have to have wanted, but I don't think there's anything applying wanted. But yeah, he's still doing 40 million damage. He's just absolutely melting, and that was easy. Anyways, let's move on to the next floor. Alright, y'all, we're back on floor 48 of the tower. It's a JJK map. Should be pretty simple here. Even if it's Toji, it'll be easy. Oh, it's Mahito. They really did add more bosses into this, because I'm pretty sure Mahito couldn't be here before as well. Pretty sure it was just Toji, Dagon, Shoso, and like every boss but Mahito, I'm pretty sure. Melting the boss, already 400 million left. About to be at 300 million. Yeah, these really just need to be faster. But anyways, we're about to clear it. Alright, another easy clear. Let's move on to the next one. Alright, y'all, we're back on floor 49 of the tower. Gotta upgrade Zoro 100 times. Very weird mechanic, but I can see it being insanely broken. Especially like I've said multiple times now, with Madara's Memoria, I feel like that's what the Memoria was literally made for. The first passive makes it so every time you upgrade, you gain 5% damage. So on top of the damage you're already gaining from upgrading, you're also getting that other 5% from the Memoria, which is the global passive. Especially for someone like Zoro that doesn't even have, you know, a Memoria. You definitely want Madara's one on him, because he's cheap to get to like a super insane upgrade, like 25, which would mean he'd have 125% damage buff onto his base, which would mean he'd have like, I think 40 million at this upgrade. 8 million EDPS. And he takes his base damage number as his bleed, I'm pretty sure, so base damage is 22 million. Kind of insane. But anyways, easy clear. I'm gonna move right on to the next one. Alright, y'all, we're back on floor 50 of the tower. I'm pretty sure we get 100 rerolls here. Accidentally upgraded Zoro, even though he's debuffed a lot. It'll be fine though, this is an easy boss. But yeah, another easy clear right here. And we get 100 rerolls for this. I'm back to 3k already. I mean, I'm probably gonna be at like a ridiculous amount by next update, like 7k, because I know you can get a lot out of Odyssey, this, and also AFKing in the event, of course, the spring event. But yeah, another easy clear, and we're gonna move on to the next one. Alright, y'all, we're back on floor 51 of the tower. Boss has 1.5 billion. That's not too difficult. If I just upgrade Zoro, he should do a lot of damage here. Yeah, I was thinking, I'm pretty sure there's that one unit from the Dragon Ball update that I'm pretty sure makes your farms give 2% more yen per upgrade. I wonder if that works with the infinite upgrades. Like, I wonder if you could run like 3 farms, then have that unit, max it out a bunch, and get it to like, I don't know, 400% extra yen or something ridiculous when you're already maxed out. And then just place down like, I don't know, Ragna, and then have like a SPA lowering unit. Like literally this one, the Smith has that one that lowers SPA by 10%. Max them out to like upgrade like 100 or something ridiculous. I wonder how that would work. But anyways, that was an easy floor, and we're gonna move on to the next one. Alright, y'all, we're back on floor 52 of the tower. Should be another easy clear here. I mean, having these 2 upgrades is already making it so much easier. Just the loner and the infinite upgrade one, I forgot what it's actually called. Yeah, I can see honestly a team once you max out, like a team where you just get a lot of money being what you want to do. Could even be what you want to do now. I feel like Madara is too expensive though. I feel like you would just want to upgrade Zoro to that point. I wonder how this would work with like a rare unit. Anyways, that was another easy clear. Let's move on to the next one. Alright, y'all, we're back on 453 of the tower. Yeah, I don't know. I doubt anyone has the title yet for elemental towers. Like, I forgot what it's called. It's like Conqueror of all elements or something. I doubt anyone has that yet, because I feel like you probably couldn't even clear that many floors before this update. Now you definitely can, with how broken it can get get if you use the right skill tree, you know. But yeah, I doubt anyone's even had that many floor clears. I mean, 1400, that's a lot. I should have just moved Madara. But anyways, that's another easy clear. Let's move on to the next one. Alright, y'all, we're back on floor 54 of the tower. I focused on just upgrading Madara this time, and he's at 52 million damage. Upgrade 25. One farm, no buffs to the tree. So if I had like 3 farms plus the Dragon Ball unit that buffs up your yen gain, I'm pretty sure that's what it does. And obviously the cost tree max out, you could get him to like upgrade 100 or something ridiculous, dude. And every upgrade scales more as well as the cost, of course. See how much damage you can do with this nuke? I mean, I'm pretty sure it's like 300, 400 million. Doing 9 million DPS. EDPS is like 48 million EDPS. Okay, it's because of the nuke. Yeah, I just one-shotted him. Okay, that's pretty insane. But that's another easy clear. And we're gonna move right on to the next one. Alright, y'all, we're back on 455 of the tower. I don't have too much extra money this time. I'm gonna move Madara back and then spend it all on him. I pop the nuke as well. Hopefully it goes off in time. This might be a little bit close. I should also give Madara the Dragon Slayer. Okay, never mind. I took him out. Wow, that nuke literally melted him. Yeah, Madara being able to be just used by himself like this is so nice. I'm really glad they didn't make him like a unit that's forced to be used with the other Naruto units. That's nice. You can, but he's not needed to be. He's not reliant is what I'm saying. Basically, like the whole rest of the team kind of relies on each other. But anyways, we got 20 rerolls. Not bad. And that was another easy floor. So we're gonna move right on to the next one. Alright, y'all, we're back on floor 56 of the tower. Should be a pretty simple clear here. Just this upgrading mechanic is so broken. Yeah, I don't know why when you upgrade Zoro past the max one time, he gains like double his damage. Does that happen for everyone? No, it doesn't. Yeah, see, it's only for Zoro. That's weird. Like his first upgrade doubles his damage, so it's worth giving him that one. But anyways, that was another easy clear. I'm gonna move on to the next one. Alright, y'all, we're on floor 57 of the tower. Should be another easy clear. All the bosses on this stage are easy. Even God statue is, because the statues don't spawn. But it's the sword one, which is a little annoying, but still easy. Yeah, he has like 8 status effects on him. Still haven't been able to test if this new effect Madara does is different than stun. Like if you could use both of them. Probably not. It's probably a same lockout. It's also basically just wounded. 5% not as good as Alucard though. So Alucard's effect is still better. Something nice you can use without using Alucard. But anyways, that was an easy clear. And we're gonna move right on to the next one. Alright, y'all, we're back on floor 58 of the tower. Should be another pretty easy floor. It's Guilty Gear. Gotta max out Zoro and a little bit of Madara and then pop all the nukes. Yeah, I can only imagine what a build actually like trying to generate the most money would end up being like. It'd probably be really good just because you can upgrade characters infinitely now. But anyways, another easy clear. I'm gonna move right on to the next one. Alright, y'all, we're back on floor 59 of the tower. Upgraded Benimaru this time. I want to see how good he is with his brooms. He should be pretty good. And Zoro's just worth giving one upgrade because for some reason he doubles his damage when you do it. Yeah, there's like 50 million a broom. That's actually really good. And of course his damage also goes up as you do this. Yeah, he's melting pretty well. Alright, anyways, that was another easy clear. I'm gonna move right on to the next one. Alright, y'all, we're back on floor 60 of the tower. Toji's the boss. Should be pretty simple. Gotta spam this on him. Do a lot of damage. Madara's nuke as well. This is probably honestly the most difficult boss. It's always Toji versus Ginyu. It's one of the two of them. I mean, Toji can't be slowed at all, or like stalled. Well, he can be pulled back by Ichigo, and Ginyu can, but he has a lot more HP. It really just depends on what the situation is. Nice, another 30 rerolls. Alright, well, that was another easy clear. I'm gonna move on to the next one. Alright, y'all, we're back on 461 of the tower. Should be another easy one. Only 1.5 billion on the boss. I don't know who I should spend my money on. Actually, I'll try on an Escanor. If I do it on Escanor, yeah, he's up to 30 million. That's crazy. What upgrade is he at? 27. His nuke's gonna do like probably like 150 million. Spend the rest on Zoro, I guess. Gotta take out the boss very, very quickly. Alright, another easy clear. I'm gonna move on to the next one. Alright, y'all, we're back on 462 of the tower. Should be pretty simple here. I have Benimaru at upgrade 34, and he's doing 42 million damage. I feel like running multiple farms might be better even right now. Like maybe subbing out the Smith. I don't know. I don't know if he's worth using or not. But yeah, I'm doing pretty crazy damage on Benimaru and also Zoro. If I pop the things, yeah, they did like 500 million. It's 60 million per broom. Alright, well, anyways, that was another easy clear. I'm gonna move on to the next one. Alright, y'all, we're back on 463 of the tower. Upgrading Benimaru again. I feel like he might be the best one to upgrade. He's pretty cheap, but also the brooms replenish a lot. Zoro's also cheap, but he doesn't have any kind of nuke or anything. 48 million EDPS? Okay. And then Zoro's doing like 4 million. 14 million? That's like his actual average DPS. And then when you do this, it goes up a little bit. 50 million is crazy. Tower update kind of broke the tower, I'm not gonna lie. But anyways, that's another easy clear. I'm gonna move on to the next one. Alright, y'all, we're back on 464 of the tower. It's another soul leveling stage. Got Benimaru upgraded again because I'm pretty sure he's the best one to upgrade. I think he's just the most cost efficient. I don't know what really determines their cost because characters like Madara are like 13k for their next upgrade. But then characters like Benimaru, even though their last upgrade was like 25, 40k, it's like 3k. And same with Zoro. His last upgrade's like 10k, but it's only like 3k. Maybe it's like their total cost because why are Benimaru and Zoro the same upgrade then? Zoro's way cheaper than Benimaru. Simple, clear as always. Yeah, you can probably go super, super far on the Omni Tower now. But anyways, that's another easy clear, and we're moving on to the next one. Alright, y'all, we're back on floor 65 of the tower. 1 million boss. I swear this boss also couldn't spawn in before. They definitely did some changes. I don't think I've ever seen this one on this map. There was like one boss on each map that couldn't spawn for some reason, but I guess they fixed it. When you're upgrading them, they actually do gain a tiny bit of range per upgrade. It's just like a 0.4 or like 0.5, but I mean, that still does add up the more you do. 50 corruption crystals. I've seen how easy it is to get all the different materials from Odyssey. At least Odyssey is finally a good game mode, dude. But anyways, that was another easy clear, and we're gonna move on to the next one. Alright, y'all, we're back on floor 66 of the tower, and an ominous stage is approaching. Sword statue boss should be easy. Yeah, Benny Maru goes crazy, I'm not gonna lie. Already down to 600 million, about to be at 400 soon. Yeah, dude, he takes like 100 million per broom. Well, it's more like 30 million, but I think the burn does a lot too. About to take him out right now. Alright, that was another easy clear, and we're gonna move right on to the next one. Alright, y'all, we're back on floor 67. The boss should be pretty easy. Already did it in the Omni Tower once. Now I'm here in the Fire Tower. Benny Maru goes crazy, and we're about to clear it. Alright, that was another easy clear. I'm gonna move right on to the next one. Alright, y'all, we're back on floor 68 of the tower. Should be another easy one. I mean, even if it's Toji, it's easy. Benny Maru is max as much as I could get him to. Mahito, 1.6 billion. Yeah, the DPS is crazy, bro. Already 500 million left, and the burn is crazy. Getting melted, only 100 million left. Alright, that was another easy clear. I'm gonna move on to the next one. Alright, y'all, we're back on floor 69 of the tower. Should be a pretty easy clear. Unfortunately, these two units are both drained, so they're doing a lot less damage, but Madara is doing enough to be easily able to clear this. His nuke's going to do so much damage. Already down to 1.2 billion. I'm going to pop the nuke now and use Benny Maru's brooms, even though they're not going to do as much as they could. I feel like Escanor is kind of the one unit that's not too worth upgrading because he's so expensive compared to everyone else here. But anyways, that was another easy clear. Then we're going to move on to the next one. Alright, y'all, we're back on floor 70 of the tower. Going to be another easy boss for sure. Only 1.7 billion. This makes all the towers like so much easier for the first 100 floors because of just the insane buffs you can get even for the first modifiers you get or perks or whatever they would be considered, just upgrades from the skill tree in general. It honestly does seem like it's just worth bringing like 3 farms and just like maximizing money and just bringing like 1 unit like Benny Maru or like Madara. Also 50 more reels, which is nice. Already back to 3.2k. Anyways, that's another easy floor. I'm gonna move right on to the next one. Alright, y'all, we're back on floor 71 of the tower. Benny Maru is doing like 40 million, but he got stolen. 1.7 billion is actually a lot though. I don't know if we'll be able to take him out. Probably gonna have to move Madara back to finish him off. Already about to be down to 1.7. One more broom. Move Madara back right there. In fact, I'm just going to place him right here and then upgrade him a bunch. Follow him with Benny Maru. This is honestly the most difficult boss I've run into so far. It probably is just worth running 3 farms of this meta, even without any cost buff yet. But anyways, that's another easy clear. I'm going to move on to the next one. Alright, y'all, we're back on floor 72 of the tower. Another JJK map. Hopefully it's not Toji. Start popping the brooms because he's far enough away and the enemy stops spawning. Yeah, I just feel like Escanor is kind of not necessary on this team compared to everyone else. He doesn't do as much damage and also is kind of just really, really expensive. I could probably just have a second farm to upgrade these other characters more. That or another buff unit. Alright, that was another easy clear. I'm going to move on to the next one. Alright, y'all, we're on floor 73 of the tower. Boss should be easy here. It's actually like a 4 billion boss. I can only imagine how far you can go in the Omni Tower. Probably can reach like floor 1000. I'm not even trolling. Especially since you can do the whole rerolling thing now. You say you get like a really, really, really difficult Genyu boss, you can just reroll it. Maybe I'd go for like something crazy like 1000 if they made it like 3 or 4 minutes per stage. Even then, you could probably just AFK most of them with autoplay. If you have the right team at least for Omni Tower. Like Madara would get placed down and immediately maxed. Yeah, I definitely think the update we've got to Elemental Towers was definitely needed though. The game mode was kind of just infinite like floors before. It still is. It still needs changes, but it's definitely a step in the right direction, adding like a skill tree to it. So there's actually something unique about it, and you can get like super overpowered characters in here. But it definitely still needs to be sped up to like 3 or 4 minutes per stage. But anyways, that's another easy clear. I'm gonna move on to the next one. Alright, y'all, we're back on floor 74 of the tower. Only hard boss on this stage is Bobbity, and he's not even difficult. It's just like because it usually takes your unit. 40 million on Benny Maru. I don't know, the fact he slows and he also has a reusable nuke is what I kind of think makes him really good to upgrade. He's also, like I said, cheap. Alright, that was another easy clear. I'm going to move on to the next one. Alright, y'all, we're back on floor 75 of the tower. There should be another 500 stat chips, I'm pretty sure. I used like 700 earlier and I got like 1 godly. I mean, last time I used like 1000, I got like 7 godlies, I think. So I had more than enough to get Madara fully godly with his Memoria with godlies as well. Definitely not an easy boss. He's one of the hardest ones, but I mean, he's gonna get melted by this. Madara just did 300 million as well for his nuke. Yeah, the DPS on this is crazy, bro. Already down to 300 million and about to clear it. Oh no, it's 50 Phoenix shards here. Floor 80 will be the stat chips. Anyways, that was another easy clear, and we're gonna move on to the next one. Alright, y'all, we're back on floor 76 of the tower. Yeah, it's a 1.8 billion boss, and Benny Maru is doing 36 million. So pop the nuke. It's doing like 100 million per attack. Yeah, I really hope next update has some unique stuff, because this update has some decently unique stuff. Nothing too crazy. The main mode is pretty basic. Anyways, that was another easy clear. I'm gonna move on to the next one. Alright, y'all, we're back on floor 77 of the tower, getting close to 100. I'm probably gonna go to 100 and then stop because I don't even think there'll be a like point where I stop on these floors. it's just going to keep going. So I'll probably stop around 100 once I get there. If I can get there. I mean, I should be able to. I still have a reroll too, in case I run into like a Ginyu floor. I mean, Benny Mar is just too crazy at upgrade 36, bro. 36 out of infinite. And we're about to take out the boss already. Alright, that was another easy clear. And we're going to move on to the next one. Alright, y'all, we're back on floor 78 of the tower. Benny Mar doing 20 million. Nothing too crazy. Don't have enough money to get him to like an insane number on this stage. Should be able to pop Madara's nuke right now. And we clear the stage right now. Another easy clear. And we're going to move on to the next one. Alright, y'all, we're back on floor 79 of the tower. Should be another easy clear. It's just the Berserk stage. Benny Mar has 52 million, 80 range. Because like I said, you can see right here, the range does go up a little bit per upgrades. Went up like a 0.3 when I upgraded Zoro there. Goes up a little bit. I don't know why it goes up, but I'm not complaining. The SPA doesn't change though. Alright, let me pop these nukes. Okay, yeah, it did a lot of damage. Did like 400 million. Each one's doing 80 million. He's at upgrade 36. Alright, well that was another easy clear, and we're moving on to the next one. Alright, y'all, we're back on floor 80 of the tower. Should be another easy clear. I mean, he only has 1.7 billion. Literally just pop this and do a bunch of damage. Slightly difficult, but I mean, it's not Ginyu, so we're chilling. I actually really like this whole infinite upgrade thing. It makes your units get to insane numbers. And like I've been saying, I mean, the Madara Memoria would go crazy with it. They definitely made it for this. Unless it's just coincidence, but I feel like they intentionally made it work like this. Oh, nice, another 50 rerolls. Back to 3.3k now. Anyways, that was another easy clear, and we're gonna move on to the next one. Alright, y'all, we're back on floor 81 of the tower, and this time I put all my money into Madara to get him to 6-7 million right now. Pretty crazy that he's doing that much damage, and you can see that the Memoria actually is, you know, giving him the buff all the way since he's on upgrade 28 and he has about a 1.3x buff plus the 40% from the sword from the smith. But yeah, I'm going to use this nuke and see how much damage it does to the boss. I don't think this is the most efficient method. It's probably better to upgrade other characters. I just wanted to see how high I could get his damage to. And he sells for 120k. How much damage is nuke going to do? It's going to one-shot him for sure. Yeah. Well, that was another easy clear. And we're going to move on to the next one. Alright, y'all, we're back on floor 82 of the tower. Should be another pretty easy clear. It's the Namek stage. Hopefully it's not Ginyu, but if it is, I can just reroll it. Okay, it's Frieza. That's easy. Only 18 floors off of floor 100. Oh, he actually has 3 billion because he revives. I forgot about that. I don't think this Frieza used to exist in this stage either. Oh, by the way, the cards I have picked are Champions and Revitalized. Always pick those ones, they're the easiest. Champions practically does nothing for being such a high point card, and then Revitalized also does nothing if you bring Rupture. I mean, it's a little annoying at like the beginning when the enemies aren't gone yet, but after they're gone, you have them Ruptured. It literally does nothing. But anyways, that was another easy clear, and we're gonna move on to the next one. Alright, y'all, we are back on floor 83 of the tower. I'm really starting to think that having 3 farms would be the best thing to do, and just drop Escanor, run like Madara, Benimaru, Zoro, and then just 3 farms, but I don't know. Because I mean, you don't really need more units if you already have Benimaru for slow. And then like Madara for like early upgrade, and then Zoro for bleed. And to take the status effects. Escanor's kind of useless here. I'm not really upgrading him. And he doesn't do anything special. More of just putting my money into like Benimaru or like Zoro because they're cheap. God statue boss here is easy just because he does not spawn in his statues. If he did, it would be very, very difficult. Yeah, I do wonder how the Naruto team would work with this. Like if you got Pain to level 100 or upgrade 100, would he spawn in upgrade 100 Naruto units? Or like upgrade 12? Or do you have to upgrade? I don't know. You probably have to upgrade. But anyways, that's another easy clear. I'm gonna move on to the next one. Alright, y'all, we're back on floor 84 of the tower. Only 16 away from the floor 100. Dude, I don't know how you're supposed to get, what's it called? 1400 floors. Like, I've been seeing people go to 1400 floors in Odyssey, but that's, like, way faster. It only takes, like, 20 hours. Actually, it's probably less than that, but, like, this would take, like, actually forever. Just make the waves faster, because, like, this boss is gonna get melted, bro. Also, keep in mind, for the whole Madara Memoria thing, if you guys got your Madara Memoria from doing the other strat of, resetting, you can pity another one off the banner, so you can get 2 basically guaranteed, because I know that's a lot of an issue for a lot of people that wanted to get the a la carte Memoria multiple times. You can only get it once, but you can get the Madara one twice, and it's really good for this, specifically if you're doing elemental towers. This infinite upgrade strat is really insanely broken. But anyways, another easy clear, and we're gonna move on to the next one. Alright, y'all, we're back on floor 85 of the tower. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, it's just so much easier with these new upgrades. Like, the only issue is it needs to be faster. These high levels used to actually be difficult, which this one actually probably will. The shields are an issue. Zoro's last attack, I guess, is not multi-hit. Kind of unfortunate. Gonna have 3 brooms to spend. Gonna do a lot of, yeah. Oh, 500 stat chips, nice. If you need godly stats or just stat chips in general, always play this game mode, it's so good. Still better than Odyssey for getting stat chips. Odyssey's better for everything else, though. But anyways, another easy clear. We're gonna move on to the next one. Alright, y'all, we're back on floor 86 of the tower. Yeah, I'm starting to think they didn't buff the tower. They just made it so different bosses can spawn, but I think 2 billion is about right for 86. Yeah, I don't know, is Odyssey actually infinite? Like, do you get infinite rewards from that, or is there a certain amount you can max out? Or is it like a weekly? Like, because I've seen, when you go to 1400, you get like 2k rules. Can you just keep doing that? Because if you can, that's kind of insane. I know it takes a long time, but still. If you can't, I guess that's why elemental towers is a thing, because you can just keep going in elemental towers forever. I'm assuming there's a limit on that, like weekly or something, or just a limit in general. Maybe there's a max. I don't know. If you can just keep getting 2k, that's insane. I guess rules and Memorial shards are just easy to get now then. That's crazy if it's actually finally the best mode to grind, and really, really good, because how long have we waited for that mode to actually be worth playing, and there to actually be a replayable mode that gives you rerolls apart from just macroing. Alright, well, that was another easy clear, and we're gonna move on to the next one. Alright, y'all, we're back on 487 of the tower. Should be another pretty easy clear here. It's the bleach stage. Pop the nuke, and then pop Benimaru's brooms. Should be far enough away. Yeah, they are. 55 million on Benimaru right now. Alright, y'all, well, that was another easy clear, and we're gonna move on to the next one. Alright, y'all, we're back on 488 of the tower. Should be another easy one. It's the Fate stage, and Benimaru again doing crazy amount of damage. Forgot to put the sword on him again. I keep forgetting. Might as well just use extra farms at this point, because I keep forgetting to use this. Kind of just an annoying UI to have to go through. Gotta pop the brooms, because the boss has overshield, so it won't regen even if it's close. Yeah, Madara still does the most. I mean, it's because I'm placing him down, and he gets maxed out immediately. Escanor's doing like nothing, because I'm not upgrading him. It's easy enough to get to 100 anyways. I'm not gonna bother getting rid of Escanor right now. But anyways, that was another easy clear, and we're gonna move on to the next one. Alright, y'all, we're back on 489 of the tower. It should be another easy clear. Might be Ginyu here. You can just reroll the stage if it is, though. Nah, it's an easy boss. It's gonna upgrade Zoro more to do more damage, because this boss is gonna take a little while to take out. Zoro Madara's nuke does more than it says. It usually does like 1,000%, I feel like. Because he has 13 million damage, but how much is it gonna do? Yeah, it did like 500 million. Or not 500, but 300 million. Actually, it's because he does double to like status affected enemies, right? I forgot about that. And there's also other stuff that makes him do more damage than his actual damage number. And we're about to take out the boss. Alright, that was another easy clear, and we're moving on to the next one. Alright, y'all, we're back on 490 of the tower. Pop Madara's nuke, and then actually I can pop the brooms right away because it's overshield. 50 million on Benimaru. Yeah, honestly, I can totally see Omni Tower 4000 being possible, but that would take so long. If I did go for it, though, I would go for Omni Tower because it'd be the easiest one, obviously. Since Naruto Pain, I can only imagine that combo. If it works how I'm expecting with like 4 farms and just upgrading Naruto to like level a billion. And we're about to take out the boss. 50 more rerolls, not bad. Back to 3.3k. I mean, I'm probably, like I said, gonna have like 7 to 8k, maybe even more than that rerolls before next update if I grind out Odyssey a little bit. But anyways, that was another easy clear, and we're gonna move on to the next one. Alright, y'all, we're back on 491 of the tower. Should be a pretty easy clear here. It's the dynamic stage. Could be Ginyu. It was already Ginyu on wave 10, so I doubt it will be, but it might be. Oh, it is. This might be a reroll. Well, yeah, I'll just cut to when I've rerolled it, and we're going to be back on floor 91 at wave 20. Alright, y'all, we're back on floor 91. Rerolled it. It's the JJK map now. If you guys are stuck on a Ginyu stage on, like, Omni Tower, because I've seen some people say that, literally just reroll it. It's easy now. New feature they added. You can only do it once a day, I think. I think it resets at, like, 12, but it probably resets when, like, daily challenge resets. Gotta clear this, though. Alright, y'all, that was another easy clear, and we're gonna move on to the next one. Alright, y'all, we're back on 492 of the tower. Should be another easy clear. It's insane how you can actually get this far in, like, Fire Tower now. I mean, I guess technically being able to infinitely upgrade old units makes them, like, good again. But Benimaru, I think, is just one of the better ones for Fire because of the reusable nuke thing. Just pop this and I'll take out the boss. Just did, like, 500 million. Alright, y'all, well, that was another easy clear, and we're gonna move on to the next one. Alright, y'all, we're back on 493 of the tower. The AOT stage should be another simple clear. Only problem is, yeah, it spawned back here. Gotta move Madara back immediately then. Should be able to take this out. It's just gonna be a little difficult here. Pop this too, because why not? Where did the brooms just go, bro? That's not where the crystal is, bro. That's weird. I guess he's just bugged. Maybe it doesn't hit the crystal when you shoot the brooms off. I don't know. Only 100 more million, and we take it out. Alright, that was another easy clear, and we're gonna move on to the next one. Alright, y'all, we're back on 494 of the tower. Should be another pretty easy clear, just a 2.3 billion boss, nothing too crazy. Yeah, it's not gonna revitalize anymore. Doing 50 million damage now. Taking out the boss pretty quickly. Very, very simple. Gotta clear it. Alright, y'all, that was another easy clear, and we're moving on to the next one. Alright, y'all, we're back on 495 of the tower. Takes way too long to clear tower compared to what I've seen Odyssey takes. Elemental towers, I mean, I see no reason not to. It's an infinite game mode. It's kind of meant to be grinded like hundreds of times, so I feel like there's no reason not to at least make it like 4 or 5 minutes. Anyways, only 300 million left. About to clear it. I'm so glad the god statue does not spawn in its mini statues. If it did, that would be cooked. 50 elemental shards. They do absolutely nothing. I love these. But anyways, that was another easy clear, and we're gonna move on to the next one. Alright, y'all, we're back on 496 of the tower. It's another JJK floor, and should be simple. I mean, even if it's Toji, it's easy. Gotta put the sword on again, because I forget to do that again. And it makes him do like 8 million more damage, so kind of important. Oh, I accidentally sold Benimaru because he had no brooms. That's a big accident. Madara will take care of him though, I'm sure. That's the annoying thing with Benimaru's whole thing being pressing X to shoot the brooms when that's the sell button. I don't know why they did that instead of just having it be an ability. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, take him out easily anyways. Madara is just broken. Alright, y'all, that was another easy clear. Moving on to the next one. Alright, y'all, we're back on 497 of the tower. Should be another easy clear. It's the Dragon Ball stage. Boss is out right now. It's a 2 billion boss. Benimaru is doing 36 million, and I once again forgot the sword. Because you have to click through this menu slowly, otherwise it just messes you up. I don't even know why they did it like that, honestly. They should have just had it like, for example, Dio Over Heaven, or I've seen Kurumi's menu. It's just like you can select from a bunch of different options that are on screen. That's how it should have been. Should have just been like 5 options that are on screen instead of having to like click over and pick the one you want, and then you click too fast and it makes you click off. It's really annoying. What's the point of the close option if you can just click off to close as well? And that ends up happening on accident. He's getting melted without me even realizing. I even think Madara's nuke's gonna go off before he's already done. Well, that was another easy clear, and we're moving on to the next one. Alright, y'all, we're on floor 98 at the tower. I do want to max out my tree, though. I just know that's gonna take forever, though, because you get a title for it. They should add a badge for it, because I know they have one for getting the 1440 in Odyssey. They should add a badge for getting the Conqueror of All Elements title. 1400 clears to get that, so that would probably be one of the hardest badges to get. I know they have the rigged dice badge. I still haven't got one of those. I know it's like 1 in a million from any stage. I mean, it only has 700 owners, so it's really, really rare, but yeah, I mean, I hope they had a badge for the Elemental Towers badge, because I feel like if they're gonna give Odyssey a badge, why is Elemental Towers like 1390 clears on that to max out the skill tree and get that doesn't have a badge? I feel like it should, just not just the title, because it's literally way more difficult. But anyways, that's another easy clear, and we're gonna move on to the next one. Alright, y'all, we're back on floor 99 of the tower. This might be a cooked run, I just realized. I'm gonna have to move Madara back right away, but yeah, they're out of range. That could be an issue. If I just max out Madara, maybe he can do it, and then give him the sword. If I pop the nuke too. 40 million, is this gonna be enough to take out the boss? It probably won't. No, actually it might be. He's melting pretty well. Should have placed him better though. This is kind of bad placement. I mean, I guess he does do like 100 million per attack, and we take him out. Alright, well, that was another easy clear, and we're gonna move on to the next one. Alright, y'all, we're back on floor 100 of the tower. This is gonna be the last floor I do, because I don't even think it will stop anytime soon, and floor 100 is a good stopping point. Gotten far enough for the fire tower. If I go farther like than 100 in the tower, it's probably going to be in the Omni tower, because that one I can just bring anything and it's much easier to clear the stages. Also, you can probably go to like 1,000 in there. I do think, like I said, they should add something more to this game mode so it's not just the same thing over and over, because it does take a while. Like every time it's 8 minutes. 700 million left, and we clear it. Another 100 rerolls. Not bad. Back to 3.4k. Pretty good. But anyways, that's going to be the final clear for this video, and that's going to be about it. Alright, y'all, that was my experience in the fire tower. I mean, the new skill tree helps a lot. If you don't have any skill tree perks unlocked, it's going to be a lot more difficult. Even just having one makes it a lot easier, especially if you're solo. Loner is really, really good. And like I said, the infinite upgrade one's super good. I mean, it'd be cool to be able to max it out, but that would take a very long time. Like I said, like 200 hours of grinding straight up. So I think they do need to make it take like 3 or 4 minutes per stage instead of 8, because 8 is a long time. But yeah, if y'all need stat chips, grind this mode. Pretty cool new revamp to the tower, and that's gonna be about it. So if you guys enjoyed this video, like and subscribe. I really do appreciate it. I'm aiming to hit 3k before summer. If we do, I'll make a Discord server for those that want it and probably do some giveaway stuff in there. See y'all in the next one.